Hola, Timothy Phoenix here, and welcome to my blog, which is all about rising from the flames of adversity to create your dream life using the law of attraction. Today, I've got a very, very, very special guest and friend of mine, Alicia Casillas.
Namaste.
And Alicia, why don't you tell the guys here a little bit about yourself, what you're doing here on this beautiful island of Koh Samui.
So, I'm from Spain and I've been in Koh Samui for the last 6 years, and I'm teaching yoga, I'm teaching the training with Costa here at Casa. I'm doing Reiki courses and Reiki sessions and cranial cycle sessions, so manual therapy, and living life. Yes.
And you're from Spain?
I'm from Spain. I'm from a small city called Mérida. It's a Roman city. It's a beautiful place. And
can you say that again? That's very Spanish, the way you said that. Mérida.
Mérida.
Mérida. Mérida.
Mérida.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to get Alicia to come and do a video with me for a long while now. We've finally been able to do it. This is it. We're going to talk about the law of attraction because Alicia is very knowledgeable on the subject, I think. So let's start with the first question, which is, what do you think the law of attraction is?
Well, for me, now I have more an idea of what is the law of attraction in terms of what people think about the law of attraction. I think that for me, in my life, it was something that it was more intuitive, and I didn't name it. I didn't knew it was the law of attraction or manifesting. It was just something that was coming to me more intuitive, and I think that that is the law of attraction. It's something that it comes from the inside that tells you, to go in one direction, and the universe give you the tools to get there. To get there.
What would you say those tools are? What does the universe give you to get where you want to go?
I think tools can be anything from an opportunity in a different country, doing what you like, or a job opportunity, or it can be a message from the universe, in a song, yes, go for it, or something like that. Messages come from very different forms, and it's about how to receive them, how to be open to receive them.
Okay.
And allow to, of course, we need to do a lot of work. Once it's not that we just surrender, and it's about surrender, but it's also about working. Working for it.
What is this work?
What
work do you do?
What work I do now? I teach yoga, and
in terms of the law of attraction and getting it, you talk about we need to put some work in. What do you do specifically?
What do I do?
We're talking about really connecting to this power. You say you don't put a label on it, which I agree.
Yes,
the law of attraction is just a label. I always say that. It's a convenient term, so we know what we're talking about, but we're talking about a higher power, really, aren't we? So you're talking about putting in some work to maybe get in touch with that power?
Yeah, exactly.
So that it can give us those opportunities, right? So what do you do specifically to...
I practice every day. That is something that I have for a long time, that is a self-practice, and it's sometimes more meditation, sometimes more yoga, sometimes more pranayama, sometimes more asana, sometimes Reiki. It's also checking in and see what do I need, and that is for me doing the work, to be centered and to be in tune with yourself. And then when the right time comes and the opportunities, you're ready for it. Yeah. So that is kind of the preparation and the work that I'm doing right now in my life.
Yeah. And I always say that it's about, for me, the most important thing is getting into alignment with what your true calling is, or what your passion is, or your love in life. I think when that happens, that tends to manifest things a lot quicker into your life, and the opportunities and people seem to come up along, and these coincidences appear, and everything just seems to fall into place. Would you say that's true for you?
Yeah, for sure. And through my entire life, it has been like that. Like sometimes the key is to be patient, because sometimes it takes time. You know, but we become like a little bit impatient, like, oh, I want it happens now. And that is a little bit of my nature, like, oh, I want it now, right now. And
Me too. I think almost everyone is like that. There's very few really patient people who will just
there's
calmly
very
wait.
patient people. But you know, it's yeah, it's true. Like we want it now. I think that our society, you know, we want answers, and we just Google it, and we have all the answers that we want, and we have this sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel that in times I have to be more patient, and I have to just think about, like, okay, this is just a preparation stage, and this preparation stage is necessary in order to get there where you want to get. But if you just jump to the other one, it's just gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
So you don't skip that step of preparation.
Yeah. I think with the specific yoga that you teach, or that you're most knowledgeable about, which is Yin, that's kind of something that is really more about being more introspective and going within and kind of being more patient. Would you say that's helped you in kind of being more patient and working into things, getting more attuned with the law of attraction, or this power?
Yeah, for sure. I think that my background, I start with, of course, Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Power Yoga, all these styles that are more young and are more active and are more, you know, ready to move. And in the recent years, I'm moving more towards stillness and towards meditation and towards Yin, and how that it makes like a huge transformation in my life, in the sense of, like, it's exactly what I needed. Like, yes, I have all the strength and all the power and to make things happen, and I needed the balance. I needed the stillness and the surrendering and the patience and the watching this internal process. And I think our society is also that, you know, it's very young oriented, it's very moving, it's very fast paced, especially like in big cities. And I think that if we can find a balance with our more non-doing, and because, you know, with non-doing, it's like we think, oh, we are not productive.
Yeah.
We are not productive. So it's the mentality that I used to have, or I still like keep reminding myself, you know. And I think that I teach Yin because that is what I need the most. We teach what we need and what we want to learn, and sometimes, you know, we need to teach a long time, and that is what I resonate right now the most. Of course, I keep my Yang practice, and of course I teach still Vinyasa, and but I'm integrating the patient even in the in the Yanasana. I'm integrating to be more mindful, to cultivate more mindfulness into the practice and into the body.
Yeah, because I think really when you're trying to access this, I keep saying this power, I don't want to use words like I don't even want to really use the word law of attraction, but I don't want to use the words like God and consciousness, and it just, there's a power that's out there. And in terms of getting in tune with it, I think it's all about getting into stillness and finding that quietness, and that's where you get in tune with it. And we can do that through meditation. Yin's a really good one to do it too. By the way, I go to Alicia's classes. Yin classes
yes, he's my
now.
best student. He's in all my classes.
She's my favourite yoga teacher, Yin yoga teacher.
Thank you.
So I really enjoy her classes, and I've gained a lot personally from it. As someone who has been very anxious and who has that busy mind, constantly thinking like I have to do something all the time, and you know, thinking that we have to take action with everything that we're doing, and it's not the way forward. I don't think. I think you need a balance, and between action and actually being still and actually allowing the thoughts to come in and to observe them and to see them for what they really are. And that's why I now meditate every single day without fail. I'll do at least a few minutes, if not like an hour or so. And if I don't do that, I'll be in Alicia's yin class.
Yes.
So yeah, I highly recommend to people out there that if you want to work with the law of attraction, it's partly about clearing what's within you, any kind of negativity, blockages, etc., and finding stillness, and that's where you can really manifest from that place. And you've got a Yin Yoga teacher training
Coming up soon,
your own
yeah.
Yin Yoga teacher training coming up. Can you
Yes.
speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. It's gonna be here in Bicasa. Well, first I do one in London, and that will be in July. And then I'm
Where's
going
that?
to do in Salisbury.
Salisbury, yeah.
Salisbury.
Yeah, we say
Salisbury.
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 Yeah, it's in Salisbury in
It's in
the south of the UK, not far from London. And who's that with?
In Grace
Grace Lounge, right? Yeah.
Correct.
And the dates for that?
From the 1st to the 14th of July.
1st to the 14th of July. Okay. So that's Yin 1.
And then this one, and the second one is going to be here in Bicasa.
Yes.
And it's going to be from the 11th to the 22nd of November.
Yes.
And yeah, we are working together to make the best possible material. So I'm very grateful that you are bringing your talents into the yin training as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be good. So yeah, if you're interested, this is the woman to get in touch with after this. By the way, how can people get in touch with you if they want to? Instagram?
Instagram, yeah, it's Yoga Alicia Casillas.
Yoga Alicia
Alicia
Casillas.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. On Facebook, it's the same Yoga Alicia Casillas. Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, you should come along. It's going to be amazing. It's the first one Picasso we've done, isn't it? First Yin training.
It's 100 hours Yoga Alliance certificate.
What have you manifested in your life then? Tell me.
Well, I come from
Tell me the good stuff.
yeah, I come from sports background. So I used to be a professional swimmer, and when I was 15, I moved to Madrid to swim to compete with the national team, the Spanish national team, and I was there for maybe 5 years with the national team, going to swimming team, to competitions internationally and national. And before the Olympics came, so it's kind of like the cycle of the Olympics games every 4 years. They bring like new people into this training system in Madrid in the national team. So after that period, I was already ready to make a change. I wanted to study university, and I decided to go to the States to study university. So I got a scholarship, and yeah, this is what I mean about the law of attraction. When I was just 14, I manifested to get a scholarship to go to Madrid to swim with the national team, and I was fully paid, my studies and everything. When I was, I think, 19, I manifested another scholarship to go to the States, and I got the university also for free. And of course, it's not for free. It's like a lot of work that I put it there, but yeah.
But it's at the time you were kind of, this was your big goal, your big dream to kind of do this, wasn't it?
Yeah, I always dreamed that I wanted to be, at that time, I wanted to be the faster, and I was very competitive at the time, and that was my dream at the time. At the time, my dream was to be in the Olympics game, and then it changed when I started getting older and I started going to competitions, and I started realizing, well, you know, maybe I want to explore more than not just swimming. And that is the reason why I went to the States, so I could have a little bit bigger experience that what I used to have just, you know, in this center. And I actually was very happy that I did. And then I wanted to travel the world, and I got another opportunity to come to Asia. to help the little kids. I was volunteering in Vietnam through university as well. So they also somehow, like, it's just like these things come into my mind, and the universe is like, oh, here it is, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna take it. And I think that I have other maybe fears, but the fear of the unknown is not so deep in some case, in some scenarios. So for me to go to the States for first time without knowing any English, or for me to come to Asia without knowing anyone and work here, it wasn't there. It was more like, why not? Yeah, like, what is stopping me? Like, why not? Like, if
That's
people can
different
do
to
it,
most people. That's different to most people, though, isn't it? Most people would let that fear stop them from going, like, oh, I don't know enough English, so I won't go to the United States. And you just went.
I mean, people were asking me, like, wow, you can do that. Like, you're not afraid to be alone, and you're not afraid of, I don't know.
Weren't your friends laughing at your English as well at the time?
Oh, yes. My Spanish friends. Yes. Because it was really bad, and it's still, like, I'm improving, and, it was, before I went to the States, I needed to, like, be isolated in Madrid for, like, 3 or 4 months, just studying and, like, really trying to, like, make it happen to pass the exam for university. Because imagine, like, not having any idea of English and wanted to go to university and to study university in English. It was crazy. And even my parents were like, we support you, but I think in the background they didn't, like, believe that I was going to pass the exams. It was more like, you have, like, a lot of dreams, and can you please ground yourself a little bit more? Like, it's like, don't have, in Spanish it's pajaritos en la cabeza.
Pajaritos en la cabeza.
Pajaritos en la cabeza, it means, like, you have too many dreams, you daydream too much. And maybe it's true, but it works. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, and I think that's a key thing with the law of attraction, that you need to have these big dreams, and just, if it's what your heart really wants, you've got to go for it. And trust that the opportunities and the people are going to be drawn to you if you just go for it. And I think a lot of people have got the fear, and that puts them off because they don't trust that it's all going to work out. They're concentrating on the negative and what could go wrong. But I think you've proven there with your story, and I think also with my own story coming out here to Koh Samui, that you just have to go for it, and things just seem to magically fall in place, right? It's just all the coincidences that seem to pop up, and you look at them now and you think, that was pretty amazing what happened. But this is constantly happening, especially when you go for what you really, really, really want, the bigger dreams. The universe finds a way. It's always looking for a way to get you towards what you want, if it's in alignment with what you really want.
And I think also the trust about yourself, the trust that why not, like, why you're not going to make it happen, and that also the trust that things are going to work out. I think that it's like, of course it's not that there is absolutely no fears, there is, but I try to work on those, and I try to put the time and the awareness and to work through these limiting beliefs that we grow up with, and as I say, like, before, when I was not into yoga, I was into swimming. I have no idea, like, law of attraction, but I remember always asking myself, why not? I always ask myself why I would not make that happen, and what is stopping me from making it happen. And that realization pushed me, like, yes, you can do it. You can do it. Of course, as a yoga teacher or as a swimmer, both I was working so much, like, in the sense of I was training every day, I was training twice a day, and I was putting a lot of work into becoming the best I could become. So it's not that you just relax and wait for the things to come to you, but you have to do the work and put yourself in these situations so it can happen. And for me, it's a combination of both. It's a combination of, like, going for it and surrendering.
Yeah.
Going forward, and sometimes and that is at the end of my career as a swimmer, that is almost like, what I was feeling. There's much more than I want to explore, not just this me as a professional athlete, but I want to explore the world. And also when that happens and you start shifting and changing, your body starts telling you, and okay, maybe it's time, and yeah, I realized that now that I have more awareness, that the body always speaks to you.
Thank you very much for coming along. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Finally got you on after
I know,
9
after
months
so many
or
months
however long it's been.
together.
But yeah, I really appreciate you coming along.
Thank you, my honor.
Yeah, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to my channel, timothyphoenix.com. That's my website, and you can catch me on Instagram, timothy.phoenix, and also don't forget yoga, Alicia Casillas.
Yoga, Alicia Casillas.
And till next time.
Bye.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Luego.
Very good. Muy bien. Oh, nice. This is so much fun.